Attention, citizens of the United States. This is an emergency broadcast issued by the Department of Homeland Security in conjunction with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the North American Health Bureau. A state of extreme emergency has been declared in response to the rapid and uncontrollable spread of the Agonia cerebri parasite across the northwestern United States. As of 8:42 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on April 25, 2029, cases of Agonia cerebri have reached catastrophic levels in the states of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. Casualties are mounting at an alarming rate, overwhelming local healthcare systems and leaving communities in a state of unprecedented chaos. This broadcast is to inform you of the immediate measures being enforced to contain this deadly outbreak and protect the lives of all citizens. Effective immediately, all travel to and from the states of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana is strictly prohibited. The boundaries of these states have been sealed off by National Guard units, with the full support of Canadian Armed Forces. This lockdown is comprehensive and will be enforced with lethal force if necessary. Anyone attempting to breach these state lines or evade containment protocols will be met with immediate and decisive action by military personnel. Travelers currently within these affected states must remain where they are. Any attempt to leave without proper documentation or clearance will result in forced return to your point of origin, or in extreme cases, immediate quarantine under federal authority. Bordering states, including California, Nevada, Utah, and the Dakotas, have established wellness checkpoints at all border stations. These checkpoints are heavily monitored, and any individual showing signs of infection will be detained on site. The United States government cannot and will not allow this deadly parasite to spread beyond its current boundaries. The use of lethal force by the law enforcement has been authorized against any and all infected individuals within the states of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. This includes indiscriminate action to prevent any possibility of further contamination. Citizens of the listed states are not allowed to use lethal force against the infected members of the public and will be punished by the federal law. In response to the uncontrollable escalation of Agonia cerebri cases, the federal government has expanded the authorization of lethal force to a wide array of states across the nation. The following states are now under direct orders to neutralize any confirmed infected individuals with extreme prejudice: Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, and West Virginia. Law enforcement agencies in these states are under immense strain due to the rapid spread and instability caused by the outbreak. To alleviate this pressure and ensure public safety, the National Guard has been deployed to assist local law enforcement. The National Guard will work in close coordination with federal agencies to maintain order and enforce quarantine measures where necessary. All residents within these states are advised to stay indoors, avoid all non-essential travel, and comply with the instructions of local authorities. Under no circumstances should you attempt to confront or care for infected individuals without proper protective gear. The parasite is highly contagious, and any contact with an infected person could result in immediate transmission and eventual death. In response to the growing need for public safety, emergency shelters are being established across the affected regions. These shelters will provide refuge for those unable to safely quarantine at home. They will be stocked with essential supplies, medical care, and protective gear. However, due to the overwhelming demand, space is limited. If you are unable to reach a shelter, it is imperative that you prepare your home for prolonged isolation. Food distribution centers are being set up in strategic locations to ensure that all citizens have access to necessary provisions during this lockdown. These centers will operate under strict security to prevent looting and ensure that supplies are distributed fairly and efficiently. You are urged to stock up on non-perishable food items, water, and essential medications. Prepare for the possibility of long-term isolation, as there is no current timeline for when the lockdown will be lifted. The following guidelines must be followed without exception. Stay indoors. Do not leave your home unless absolutely necessary. If you must go outside, wear protective gear at all times and avoid contact with others. Avoid crowds. Any gathering, no matter how small, increases the risk of spreading the parasite. Stay isolated and limit your exposure to other individuals. Report symptoms. If you or anyone in your household begins to exhibit symptoms of Agonia cerebri, including severe headaches, fever, confusion, or violent behavior, contact the emergency hotline at 1-800-CEREBRI immediately. Do not attempt to treat the infected person yourself. Follow law enforcement instructions. Compliance with all law enforcement directives is mandatory. Failure to do so will result in immediate detainment or worse. Prepare for extended isolation. Ensure that you have enough food, water, and medical supplies to last for an extended period. Public services may become limited or unavailable as the situation worsens. This is not a drill. The United States is facing an unprecedented biological threat that demands the cooperation and vigilance of every citizen. The government is mobilizing all available resources to combat this outbreak, but your safety depends on your adherence to these guidelines. Stay safe, stay informed, and above all, stay indoors.
Attention residents of Birmingham and the surrounding areas. This is an emergency broadcast from the UK State for Health and Social Care. This broadcast was issued on the 5th of January 2029 at 3:15 p.m. As of this afternoon, the United Kingdom has confirmed its first case of the Agonia cerebri phase 1 infection within our borders. The patient, a 32-year-old male, was admitted to Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Birmingham after presenting with severe neurological symptoms indicative of the early stages of this lethal infection. The patient's condition rapidly deteriorated, resulting in a violent episode where he assaulted medical staff before fleeing the facility. His whereabouts are currently unknown, and he is considered highly dangerous. In response to this grave development, the UK State for Health and Social Care has activated its highest level of emergency protocols. All individuals who have had any contact with the infected patient are being identified and closely monitored. We urge the public to remain calm yet vigilant. This is a situation that demands our collective focus and adherence to strict guidelines. Effective immediately, enhanced screening measures are being implemented at all major airports, railway stations, and public transport hubs across the country, with a particular emphasis on travelers arriving from North America and other regions where the Agonia cerebri infection has been reported. To prevent further spread of this catastrophic infection, all flights originating from the American continent will be suspended until further notice. We are coordinating closely with international health agencies to monitor the situation and implement necessary measures to safeguard public health. For residents of Birmingham and the surrounding areas, the government strongly advises the following precautions. Practice enhanced hygiene. The Agonia cerebri parasite is believed to be highly contagious, particularly in its early stages. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Use hand sanitizer with a high alcohol content if soap and water are not available. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. Avoid large gatherings. Public gatherings are a breeding ground for the rapid spread of this infection. Postpone any non-essential meetings, events, or social gatherings. Employers are advised to implement remote working protocols where possible to minimize contact. Seek immediate medical attention if you or anyone you know begins to experience symptoms associated with Agonia cerebri, such as severe headaches, fever, confusion, or other unusual neurological effects. Seek medical attention immediately. Do not attempt to self-medicate or care for infected individuals without the proper protective equipment. To further assist residents, the government has established hygiene points throughout the city of Birmingham where individuals can disinfect themselves. These points are located at Victoria Square, Birmingham B11BB, Bullring Grand Central, Birmingham B54BU, Birmingham New Street Station, Birmingham B24QA. In addition to these hygiene points, the government has also established 3 evacuation shelters where residents who are unable to safely quarantine at home can seek refuge. The locations of these shelters are Boneville College, Longbridge Lane, Birmingham B312AJ, Aston University, Aston Triangle, Birmingham B47ET, the University of Birmingham, Edgbaston, Birmingham B152TT. These shelters are equipped with medical facilities, food supplies, and emergency care teams trained to handle cases of Agonia cerebri. If you are feeling unwell or believe you may have been exposed to the infection, please proceed to the nearest evacuation shelter for assessment. The government is taking every possible measure to contain this outbreak and prevent its spread across the United Kingdom. However, your cooperation is vital. Stay informed, follow official advice, and do not spread misinformation. We are in this together, and together we will overcome this crisis. Please remain indoors unless absolutely necessary, and monitor official channels for further updates. Your safety is our highest priority, and we will continue to provide you with the most accurate and timely information as this situation develops. This message will be repeated until further notice. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and look after one another.
Bravo 2-1, this is Central. We need immediate ground support. Situation in Manhattan is out of control. Repeat, out of control. Requesting reinforcements. Over. Central, this is Bravo 2-1. Acknowledge your request. What's your current sit rep? Over. Bravo 2-1, 10-101. We are dealing with mass civilian unrest, violent outbreaks across multiple sectors. We've got hostile contacts engaging law enforcement with extreme aggression. We need boots on the ground now. Over. Central, copy that. We got full deployment across all sectors. Resources are stretched. 10-23, stand by for further instructions. Over. Bravo 11-60, we can't hold them much longer. They're not just rioters. I don't know what they are. We've got officers down, neighborhoods burning. We're losing the city. 10-73, how copy? Over. Central 10-26, listen up. 10-36, orders from the top. No additional ground support available. All units are engaged. Priority has shifted to containment at key federal installations. You're on your own. 10-73, how copy? Over. What? 10-22? What do you mean on our own? 10-34, we're the front line out here. You can't just leave us to... Bravo 2-1, this is Central. We need immediate support. 10-15, over. 10-74, negative. Central, no further units to deploy. You are to maintain your position and follow standing orders. Repeat, no further reinforcements. 10-30, over. 10-74, Bravo 2-1, this is madness. We've got men down. 10-78, this is not a skirmish. This is a goddamn war zone. How are we supposed to hold with what we've got? You can't just... 10-12 Central, this is Bravo 2-1. I've relayed your concerns up the chain. Stand by. Bravo 2-1, come in, Bravo 2-1, do you copy? Damn it, Bravo, respond. We're getting overrun out here. We need... 10-3 Central, you've been given your orders. Hold your ground, Bravo 2-1 out. Bravo 2-1, Bravo, do you copy? God damn it, we've been left to die out here. All units, all units. This is Central, we're on our own. I repeat, we're on our own. God help us all.
This is BBC London. Regular programming has been suspended by the Royal Order. The following is a statement regarding the current outbreak and further actions taken. Listen carefully. Respected ladies and gentlemen, this is a statement of the Secretary of State for Health and Social Care. Given the extraordinary Agonia Cerebri outbreak, which has now reached concerning proportions, I must speak to you today with great urgency and concern. Because of the seriousness of the situation, you must attend to it right away and strictly follow these instructions to make sure you and your family are safe. Our government has sent teams of scientists to the affected areas to conduct critical assessments and investigations. In light of recent developments, we strongly advise the public in these areas to avoid and not to seek medical care at hospitals unless specifically directed. Hospitals have become high-risk environments due to potential contamination. Individuals are urged to proceed immediately to the nearest government-established evacuation center. Reports from our North American partners have revealed a chilling and disturbing aspect of the outbreak. Individuals who had previously been declared dead by medical professionals have shown signs of reanimation, along with violent behavior. This phenomenon, in which individuals return to life with a proclivity for aggression, is now confirmed to occur on a massive scale, affecting hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. The situation is made more complicated by the fact that it seems that some people who have died of natural causes have also been reanimated. Given the severity of this outbreak, it is critical to avoid contact with anyone suspected of being infected. Those infected with Agonia cerebri pose an immediate and serious threat to public safety, as they will attack uninfected people on sight. It is critical that you remain indoors, practice strict isolation, and avoid all contact with those you suspect of being infected. Although still limited, our knowledge of this parasite's modes of transmission is concerning. Based on available data, the Agonia cerebri parasite is believed to be transmitted by direct contact with an infected person's blood or saliva. This mode of transmission emphasizes how important it is to stay away from people who are exhibiting symptoms or acting violently. Furthermore, we have received troubling reports that certain rivers in the United States contain the Agonia cerebri parasite. This finding raises the possibility of water contamination, which could aid in the spread of the infection. Such contamination poses an additional risk with the potential to spread infections through contaminated water sources. The public must exercise extraordinary caution and cooperation in light of the circumstances that we find ourselves in. The purpose of evacuation centers is to offer safe havens, so it's essential that you follow all instructions from authorities. Your community's safety, as well as your own, depends on your cooperation in adhering to these rules. Your actions can make a big difference during this crisis. To ensure the safety of yourself and those around you, please stay watchful, strictly adhere to all government instructions, and take immediate action. I appreciate your prompt attention to this important issue.